And I've also been associated with multiple NGOs as a content writer like Khwahish and Umidokopang Foundation. Now, coming to my journey with Internity, I joined Internity 2 years back as a winter intern, and from then on, I have been associated with Internity's initiative in some form or the other. I have volunteered for multiple hackathons like Starternity Hacks, Hack COVID, to name a few, and I've also been a part of their projects, right? And today I'll be leading this session. Okay. So now, when we talk of blogs, it is very important to understand that what a blog is in order to identify and explore the other nuances of why to write a blog and the needed importance. So let us initially see that what a blog actually is. So if we talk in a layman's language, then a blog is a piece of content. Now, this piece of content can either be written or illustrative. So most of us use Facebook and Instagram. So that is also a type of blogging. Facebook and Instagram comes under the category of microblogging. But in this session, we will be focusing mainly on the written content. So we'll be talking majorly about how you can write blogs in order to share your knowledge with the people. So that brings me to the second point that, okay, so we see that blog is a piece of content which can be written or illustrative, but what is the motive behind that content or that blog? So that is why we write blog. So with the help of blog, we tend to convey a particular idea or message. So with the help of blog, we often try to share the opinion with the people, what we feel. Now, we have various niche in blog writing or in content writing in general. It can be technical, it can be on automobile, it can be on lifestyle, travel, health, fashion, physique, you name it, and we have it. So, content writing or blogging is a very dynamic arena. You have various avenues to explore and write upon. So now, blog helps you to connect with like-minded people. So of course, when you will write some valuable content on the net and when you will contribute significantly and consistently, then people will love to read what you write because people connect with what they read because we write the thoughts. So obviously, if the content has the originality and it has that kick to it, it will obviously attract the audience, and this audience can be of very useful to you. I mean, of course, in the long run, this audience will identify you by your brand. So this branding will help you in the long run so that people can identify your work. So if we sum up the entire answer of this question that what a blog is, then a blog is a piece of content which can either be written or illustrative, which is intended to convey a particular idea or message which has a motive, because aimless content is of no use. It adds no value to the reader. So eventually the blog should add some value to the reader, and it is eventually a way to connect with like-minded people, because we have a community, because we have community in development, we have community for open source. Similarly, we have a community for writing. The writers community is very rich and it is very welcoming. So when you will contribute consistently and you will provide value, then definitely will build a good audience. Now this was all about what a blog is. Now we will explore that why we should write a blog. I mean, we have understood that what a blog is. Now we must understand that what is the need and what is the importance to write a blog. So number one is personal branding. So like I mentioned that when you will contribute consistently, when you will write valuable content, the content which adds value to your readers, then definitely it will help you build a brand. Like, right. So writing blogs is very essential. Now, all of you must be aware that the big brands like Google, Facebook, Amazon, or any big brands in any sort of industry, they always have a blog on their site. They always have a link to a blog. So that blog is basically a way for their branding, because they keep on posting the regular insights and regular updates of what is going inside the industry and how are they impacting the lives, right? So in that way they are sharing the opinion and perspective, right? So that brings me to the second point, that along with the personal branding, writing blogs helps you to share your opinion. So what happens is that many a times people do not find the right platform to share their thoughts and opinions, right? Often we find that social media is full of rumors, it is full of regardless and irrelevant information. But blog is one thing where your content is unique, where you can convey the idea without any hassle. I mean, So sometimes it so happens that you want to share the opinion perspective. So blog is the perfect platform, because what happens is that you express your thoughts in written form, and when you write, you think it twice, once in your mind and once while writing. So writing content improves your creativity, it increases your creativity, because you are thinking and you are writing. So it is helping you evolve, right? So that again brings me to the second point, is third point, right? So that is, it improves domain knowledge. Of course, see, when we will keep up writing on a particular topic or in a particular niche, then it will help us improve the domain knowledge. So let us take an example of the current situation. If a client asks me to write a blog on COVID-19, or let us say the market impacts of COVID-19, then I have to study two things. The first one is the market impact, and second thing is the COVID-19 situation. So I have to study everything from start to finish. I have to understand the market impact. I have to understand the COVID-19 situation. I have to explore the various avenues that have it affected the IT industry, have it affected the manufacturing industry, have it affected the agricultural industry. And keeping in mind all those points, I have to formulate my ideas, because ultimately I have to give original and unique content. I have to give what is mine. I have to share what is my thought. So in this process, I have to, study what I am telling my audience, along with linking my thoughts with it. So this is a very good process, because you know what, you link your thought and ideas with the realistic things, with the reality of the word, and in that way you are contributing immensely, not only to your personal and your knowledge, but also to the community and to the writers, because that will help them to know more about a particular topic which you are writing upon. So yeah, writing is anytime a very good exercise, I must say, because it helps you to think, and it helps you to explore new horizons. So it is a very good, I must say, option in order to try something new, right? So that was the need of writing blogs. Now, many times people ask me on LinkedIn, they ping me that how can we write blogs. Now, writing blogs is not only sufficient. You have to write unique content, you have to write plagiarism free content, you have to write content that adds value. So that means we have to study and we have to understand the paradigm of writing the blogs. So that brings me to the next part, that is how to write a blog. So the very first step is to decide the motive or intent. Now, this means that we have to decide. See, like I have mentioned earlier, that we convey an idea or message through the blog or content in general, right? So initial step before writing a blog should be to decide the motive or intent, whether I want to inform the audience, whether I want to convince the audience, whether it is a call to action to any particular product or service, or it is just to share what I feel, it is to share my opinion, right? So deciding the motive or intent is very important, because that lays the foundation for the further steps. That is the base for what you write. Okay. So once you are done with the decision of the intent, that what is your intention behind the blog, then you can draft a rough outline. Right. Now, drafting a rough outline is a tricky thing. Why? Because there are many technical aspects linked to it. So I guess many of you have heard of SEO, right? So SEO has an algorithmic approach which ranks the articles or the web pages according to the content on it. So let's say if I have to write an article related to COVID-19, then I have to employ the keywords like lockdown, quarantine, social distancing, so on and so forth. So keeping in mind all those points, I have to draft a rough outline. Now, drafting a rough outline involves a lot of effort and a lot of research. So this is one of the most crucial steps while you write a blog. So once you are done with the drafting the outline, it means half of the work is done. That is halfway achieved. But again, you cannot simply give raw content or like irrelevant facts to your audience. So you have to be very precise and very accurate in what you want to say. So you have to add facts and figure. So let me show you an article that I recently wrote, in which I have mentioned the facts and figures. So let's say this is a Node.js article that I wrote recently. So See the title, Best Node.js Courses to Take Up This Lockdown Season. So the title is linkable, it is relatable because people are in lockdown and they have to learn something in order to utilize the lockdown. So you should relate, you should be able to relate to the audience. Now, moving further, I mentioned the statistics that according to the latest stats put forth by WHO. Now, again, WHO is a brand in itself, and I have mentioned the figure 2 lakh and XYZ confirmed cases of COVID 19 worldwide. So, when I mentioned the facts and figures, then audience feel trusted. It looks reliable. So, this helps us to connect with the audience and convey the idea more accurately. So, this was just an example of how we can frame the content and convey the idea precisely and in a more better way, right? So gathering facts and figures is one aspect. Now once you have drafted the outline and gathered the facts and figures, the next thing is framing the content, right? So of course the audience is very dynamic. Your article can be read by a child, from a child to a experienced professional to a complete novice to the topic. So you never know who is reading your content. So framing the content is very, very essential. That brings me to another blog and I'll just share it with you. So this is the first blog of my life, which I wrote as a part of my internship with Internity, right? So just to mention that Internity Foundation has made a compulsion to write blogs in the internship, right? So that has helped the interns to evolve. And that has helped me eventually to explore my interests, right? So coming back to the point, so this is an article on cloud computing. So I have started with a brief of what is client and server architecture, right? It is nowhere related to the topic, but I have mentioned it. Let us see why. So I have mentioned a basic of the client and server architecture, and moving further, I have linked it with what is computing, like the types of computing. We have parallel computing and then we have distributed computing. Now I have linked both the concept. I have linked what is the client server architecture and how is it linked to the concept of distributed computing. So now what happened is that I was talking about a concept, but I have talked about two different things. A base. So this has helped me to create a base for the reader. Now, even if my reader is a novice or complete new to the topic, he may not have difficulty in reading the further things. So after the base is built, I've introduced the reader to the topic of cloud computing. That what is cloud computing, why we have to study cloud computing, and what are the importance, the history of cloud computing, and so on and so forth. Right. So these are the things that you have to keep in mind, which people often ignore and people often don't pay importance to. So drafting the outline with correct keyword research, gathering facts and figures that are accurate and to the point and reliable, of course, and framing the content in such a way that the audience can easily connect and easily understand what are you trying to convey. So these are the three pillars which are very important in order to write a blog that is successful. And when I say successful, I mean it should convey the idea clearly. It should be free of any kind of ambiguity. And thirdly, it should connect with the audience, because eventually we like the things that are able to connect with us. So we have to think from the user's perspective that what the user want to read, and eventually you have to frame the content, right? Now, last but not the least, don't forget to proofread. Now, what most often what happen is that people write long blogs. So usually blogs may vary from 800 words to 1500 or 2000 words, right? So that is a lot of words. So what happen is people often ignore and people often forget to reread the content, and that eventually lead to grammatical errors. Now this is a very turning off point for the people, because when you read an article you are expecting some worthy content, and when you come across any grammatical error or any error related to the part of speech or the voice in which you are conveying the article, then that really turns off the readers. So this is a point that everyone should keep in mind before publishing any article, right? So just to sum up, we have to we have to, first of all, we have to decide what is the motive and intent of the blog, what are the idea we are trying to convey, and then we have to draft a rough outline. We have to do some keyword research, and we have to frame the content along with proper facts and figures, and we have to eventually proofread the content in order to avoid the grammatical mistakes. Now we explored the why, what, and hows of a blog. Now the next question which arises is that where to write the blog. People often say that we fall short of writing a blog because we don't know where to write it, where to publish it, and even if we have to build a blog site from scratch, then it is difficult. So just to tell you that we have publishing platforms available with us, right? So just to name, we have Medium, Dev2, and LinkedIn. So if you are thinking to publish on any platform to be free from the hassle of maintaining a complete blog site or complete website, then you can go for Medium and Dev2. My personal choice is Medium because Medium is very dynamic and it has a very dynamic audience. Like for every niche, there are millions of readers, right? Now next, coming to Dev2. Dev2 is a bit streamlined platform because it is mainly for developer community. So Dev2 is streamlined and it is mostly recommended if you are into the IT industry or if you are a working professional. So Dev2 is recommended for the people in the IT industry. Now LinkedIn, of course, is a very popular platform, but people often don't know that apart from networking and building connects on LinkedIn, LinkedIn also offers a feature of publishing your work on LinkedIn, right? So you can write your articles and publish it on LinkedIn as well. That is also a good way to attract the audiences, um, attract the audience and gain the views, right? In order to build a personal brand. Now, the second bifurcation is the blog sites. Now, people often tend to build their personal portfolio sites, and if they do not want to be a part of Herd, and if they want to publish something unique and out of the box, and if they want to customize their look, of course, because that is the biggest option that these platforms are giving, that are customizable according to the writer's intent and need, right? So, number one is Blogger. I mean, you all must have heard of Blogger, right? So, Blogger is one platform in which you can build your own blog site and you can pick some predefined templates and you can customize those templates according to your need and then keep on publishing the blogs. Second is WordPress. Now WordPress is a bit more complicated, complicated platform, I must say, because WordPress is basically a CMS. It is a content management system, and WordPress has a lot of plugins. I mean, you name it, and there is a plugin for everything, for the SEO optimization, for your content ranking, for the automation of the editing part. There's everything. For everything, there's a plugin. So WordPress is more complicated, I must say. So if you are thinking to build a blog site, then my personal recommendation will be Blogger. So you can make an account on blogger.com and you can customize your blog according to your choice. But anyway, WordPress is more dynamic and it offers many offers. So if you want to build a blog site which can be customized to which you need to commercialize later on, right? So in that case, if you are looking for a blog that you want to commercialize, then you must go for WordPress, right? So that was about where to write blogs. So now let me walk you through some of the blogs that I've written. Yeah. So coming back to this blog, so this is published on Medium. So this is how Medium's interface look like. So let's say if I have to write a new article on Medium, so I'll just click on new story, and I can put any title, right? How to utilize your time in the lockdown. Okay, so this can be a probable heading. Then you can, just express whatever you want. The canvas is yours, and in Medium you have the options, right? You can see this plus icon. When you click on this plus icon, there's a drop down. You can insert images. You can add an image from Unsplash. Now, Unsplash is a pool of stock images that offers you free images without any copyright issues. So you can add images from that as well. You can embed a video, right? So you can embed video, you can embed GIFs or some animations in order to make it more attractive. You can embed code, right? Now, add an embed means that you can embed any location, you can embed anything that is not in the options you want to, right? And then you can add a new part, like you can click on separate line and you can start like the impact of lockdown and the students, right? So this can be another part of your blog, and if you want to make it as a heading, you can just select it and customize it. It can be a main heading, it can be a subheading, or you can just quote it like this. So there are a multitude of options you can do in Medium, right? So this is how Medium's text editor work, and then you can just click on publish and your article will be published just like this. Okay. Now Medium has one more interesting thing, which is publications. Now let me show you one thing. um, okay, just give me a minute. And if you have any questions, please drop it in the chat section. Our moderator, Mr. Avanish, will later on, pick up the queries and we'll discuss those questions. Okay. So if you have any queries, please drop them in the chat box. We'll take up them later on. Okay. So let's say this article, right? So I submitted this article to the publication named Front End Weekly. So on Medium, you have publications, right? So this is Front End Weekly. And Front End Weekly has a user base of, I guess, 10K or 20K, right? So that is a lot. So when you submit your articles to the publications, you, reach a wider audience, right? So this was my blog that I submitted to Front End Weekly a few weeks back, right? Okay, so that was about Medium. So this is another article of mine that has quite a good user, like this has a good reader base. This was on virtualization and hypervisor. So again, there are use of pictures to make it more understandable, because we know that a picture can say 1,000 words. So you must use pictures, but in limited quantity, of course, because content is the king. So you have to display the content along with the text to make it more readable and understandable. So this is how the interface of Medium works, right? Now moving further, I'll show you about Dev2. So basically, Dev2 is more of developer community and it has a user base of developers mainly. So on Dev2, if you want to write a post, you just click on write a post, and this is a text editor. Now let me tell you one thing. This is very complicated editor because this is a body markdown. So in Dev2, you don't write simple content, but you have to write the markdown for that particular content. So let's say, let me show you this article. And when I click on edit, see, just see the text. You can see the brackets, right, for the linking. You can see these are square brackets, and then you can see the hashes, the we have symbols we have used. So these all are the symbols which we use for writing in markdown. See, this is how we link in hyperlink in markdown. So this is very complicated, and this is mainly recommended if you are into development or into the IT industry. Then this is recommended for you, right? So writing a post on Dev2 is almost similar to Medium, apart from the markdown thing. And you get stickers, right? You get these badges for writing consistently on. So this is a 4 week streak badge that I got recently on Dev2. Now similar to Medium, you have organizations on Dev2. So for organizations, you can write and contribute, and these will be added under the organization. So again, it is very dynamic, right? There are multitude of things that you can do in Dev2 as well, right? So that was all about Medium in Dev2. Now let me talk about LinkedIn. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So see, you can see this option of write an article. You just need to click on that option, and yeah. So here you can see that you can add a cover image, and then you have the option of headline. So you can add a heading to that particular blog, right? Yeah. So this is how you write articles on Medium. And let me show you one article that I wrote recently on Medium. Just give me a minute. Mm, I guess I'm stopped here. Yeah. I guess I'll be hearing it in the publishing menu. Yeah, so you can go in my articles section. And so this is the article that I wrote recently. Yeah, so this is how you publish on LinkedIn. There's a cover image to it, and then there's the normal flow of the content with the normal heads and subheads and listicles mentioned properly, right? So that was all about Medium, Depth, and LinkedIn. For Blogger and WordPress, you can just visit the sites and you can see that how you can make a blog there. I'll share the no. This is the blog of Avinash sir, who is the lead of digital marketing in Internity. Okay, so this is how you create a blog on Blogger. Just go to the home page and click on create a blog, and then it will ask the account details and which you can enter, and then the process is simple, right? So this is a demo blog on WordPress. So this is the blog built by Mr. Avinash, who is the lead of digital marketing at Internity. So this is how a blog on WordPress looks like, right? So see, you see the dynamic nature of this blog. You see there's a proper header, then there is customized sidebars with categories and follows option. So and there are the posts mentioned in the order, right? Okay. So this is how you write a blog on WordPress. Okay. So these were the major platforms where you can publish and write your articles either independently, or you can submit the articles to these writing platforms which can further publish them after moderation. So these platforms have some moderation policies which you need to follow in order to get the blog published, right? Okay. So all said and done, we explored the various avenues of writing a blog. We explored what is a blog, we explored how to write a blog and why to write a blog and where to write a blog. So I guess I have answered almost all the major questions of the what, why, how, when, and where. So now we'll talk about the major takeaways. So now you may ask that, okay, I have created a blog, I have followed all the steps, and I've created and published a blog. But what do I get in return? Number one, you get an amazing portfolio. So when you publish content consistently and regularly, you are building a portfolio. So let's say if you start from today and you are publishing 2 articles a week, then in 1 month you will get 8 articles. That means in 1 year you can get 96 articles. Just imagine the number of articles, right? So that will be a portfolio in disguise. So just like designers have a portfolio, you as a writer can have a portfolio of your writings, and that can eventually fetch you a good job as either a freelancer or a content writer or a blogger, right? So an amazing portfolio is first thing. Second thing, as I mentioned earlier too, you will get a trusted audience and a good reader base, right? Because ultimately it is your audience that builds the brand value. So yeah, your audience will help you to grow and help you realize your potential. And last but not the least, monetary benefits. Now this point has multiple facets. Like first of all, that you can choose content writing as a profession. You can either work as a freelance content writer just like me, or you can work as a technical content engineer with any big IT firm, or you can work as a content writer with some a company or startup of your choice, and there are multitudes of options. Secondly, if you want to generate passive income, then you can get your blog certified by the Google Analytics, and then you can run some paid ads. So for every click you get some pay, like some percent of the commission, that is pay per click algorithm, like this is the PPC scheme. So for the pay per click you get some amount, some dollars for every click. So that is another way of generating the passive income. Okay, so Saksham, Medium does not support Google AdSense. So, like I said, that Medium is a publishing platform, whereas Blogger and WordPress are the blog sites. So, if you are making a blog on Blogger or WordPress, then you can get it certified by the Google AdSense, and then you can run paid ads on it. But if you are making the blog on or writing the blog on Medium or Dev2 or any platform, then you are not eligible to, get the pay due to ad, and you cannot get the amount, right? So that is not possible for Medium, but it is possible in case of Blogger or WordPress, or in case you build your own blog site from scratch using the hard coded mechanism, right? The HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all the front end technologies, right? So that was about monetary benefits. So just to say that freelance writing is very much in trend these days, because due to lockdown the offices are shut, people are working from home. So freelancing is one option that is gaining the limelight these days. So if you are thinking, or if you think that you can write good content, you can write content that is attractive, that is valuable, that is informative, and if you think that your words carry worth, then you can definitely start, and you can think of starting, freelancing, because it is a good option to make money just by sitting at home and writing a few blogs. So yeah, it's a good option, and even in the lockdown it's getting more popularity. So that is one option. So that was all about the blog writing, the need and importance of writing blogs. So do you have any questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, could you please tell me about freelancing, sir?
Freelancing in which aspect? Please tell your name before that.
Sir, this is Shivakumar, sir.
Yeah, Shivakumar, please tell me freelancing in which aspect? Because it's very dynamic.
No, sir. Uh, for what is freelancing, sir? I'm a just beginner. I don't know about freelancing, sir.
Okay.
Give me an outline, sir.
Okay. So, okay, what is freelancing? So, freelancing is working at your own comfort on your own terms and conditions according to your choice. Okay. So, when I say
Okay,
freelancing,
sir.
it means that I have a client, and the client is remote, and even I'm working remotely, and I have to give the decided content before the deadlines, right?
Oh, okay,
and
sir.
and he will pay me according to my demands. So what happens, Shiv Kumar, in companies, you work for a 9 to 5 job, right? And you get a fixed payout,
Oh,
right?
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
But in freelancing, what happens is that you decide the timings, you work according to your comfort, according to your time, but you have to deliver the content before the deadlines. So the client
Oh,
pays you for the assignments, not for the time you contribute, but for the output that you give to him.
oh, okay, sir.
Right? So even if you are a developer, if you're a web developer or you are a graphic designer, you can work as freelancer. Then you work
Okay, sir.
for the entire project. So in content writing, there are two provisions. One is that you are paid for the assignments. Secondly, there's a PPW, pay per word provision for the for paying the freelancers. Right?
Okay, sir.
So this is about the content writing freelancing avenue. But in web development or graphic designing, you have a payout based on the projects, based on the
Okay.
assignments that you deliver. Right?
Right, sir. Got it, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question?
Thank you, sir.
So with respect to Internity Foundation, which blog site would you recommend given the fact that, let's say, my Google AdSense account is active and it's working on YouTube and I want to link it to my blog as well?
Okay. Your name, please.
I'm Saksham, sir.
Okay. So Saksham, like you said that you want to monetize it by Google Ads. So I'll recommend to go for blogger.com or WordPress, because that is an independent publishing platform and you can easily run Google Ads on it. Now talking about Medium or Dev2, there you do not get the option to run ads, right?
Yes, sir.
So, so if you want to run ads and get some money from that, and you said that you have the you have the certified account, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I will recommend that you must go for blogger.com because it is simple. WordPress is way too complicated. So if you want to devote less time in maintenance and more time in devising the content, then go for blogger.com. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question? Okay.
Another one, sir, if you don't mind.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sir, you said like blogs need original content, and it's really important to post your original ideas and a good content on your blog.
Absolutely.
So, is there a plagiarism check that goes on? Like, what happens if someone really like copy pastes some content on the web?
Okay. So I'll share my story with you, Saksham. So when I joined Internity, so I created a blogger account, right? And what I did was I just copied the entire content from any website and pasted it on a blogger site, right? What happened? My entire content was highlighted. Did you got
Okay.
that? So yes, there is a plagiarism check on blogger.com and wordpress.com because eventually these are publishing sites. So let's say if you're copying content from someone else's portfolio, then that can claim anytime. The Copyright Act is there. He can claim the plagiarism issue anytime and you can be, you can face severe consequences for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the crunch is on Medium and Dev2, we do not have plagiarism check.
Okay.
Yeah, on Medium and Dev2, there is no moderation. You can publish whatever you want. But eventually, it should be relatable in order to go long way as a blogger or as a content writer.
Mm.
Yeah, okay. I hope that resolves your query.
Absolutely, sir.
Okay. Any other question? So I'll just take up this question from the chat box that Arushi Jan has given 11 minutes ago. That what could be for beginners to write a blog in the field of IT sector? Okay. So Arushi, if you want to write a blog in IT domain, then first of all, streamline your thought
Yes,
process.
sir.
Yeah, streamline your thought process. Just select the particular domain. So let's say if you're interested in IoT, in cloud, in ML, in blockchain, just pick up the domain you are interested in, pick up the domain you want to write in and explore. I'll say do not write immediately. Take 4 5 days to explore, to study, to understand what that field exactly is. What does that technological domain offers, right? So when you will understand the various nuances of that domain, then you will write more effective content. Because I said that you have to think from the user's mind first. From reader's mind, you have to think
Yes,
that
sir.
what does the reader want, and then you have to write what your reader will entertain. So just select the domain you want to write in, research about it, study about the domain for 4 5 days, and then you can choose any platform like Medium. I recommend Medium because Medium is very easy to use and it is very dynamic. So go for Medium and start writing. But before that, do your research, do your homework very well, and then start writing.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
anytime. Any other question? Okay, so Avnish sir, do we have any other query? I hope I'm audible, everyone.
Yes, sir. So one last question. Doesn't really directly pertaining to this blogger thing, but I just wanted to know that in Internity, what
Mhm.
is our teaching process like, or I mean, how as interns are we writing blogs?
Okay. Okay. So, Saksham, what happens is that we share the curriculum with you on the very first day, right? So, what we have done is we have mapped the entire curriculum on 45 days. So, you have daily tasks, right? So, let's say you're in cloud computing. So, on first day, you will get the task to study about client-server architecture, about the types of computing, and the history of cloud computing, and so on and so forth, right? So what you have to do is, like I said to Arushi's query, you have to first research, first study what you want to write or what the domain is offering. After that, you have understood thoroughly the offerings and the various know-hows and ins and outs of the domain. You can start on your venture to writing about that domain.
Okay, sir.
Right. So we provide you the topics which you have to study, and you can accordingly formulate the blogs the way you want to. We just want you to be aware of the things. That's it. Writing the blogs in any which way is up to you. You can do it in any which way you want. But just we want the learning should happen because that is eventually what we are here for. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Any other question? Anyone? Any query?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
So any query related to internship and its working will be cleared during the orientation session. So the upcoming interns need not to worry about that. That will be taken care. And one more announcement is there that there is a very crucial session tomorrow at 11 a.m. by Srishti Maurya or on Trello. That will be a really crucial session for you to go about in your internship that is upcoming. So make sure to be present on that tomorrow also on our YouTube channel. That will be live on our YouTube channel. Thank you.
Okay, so guys, just to add on, Trello is very, very important. So Trello is a task management tool that will help you keep track of your task and all. So please attend the session tomorrow because you will be working extensively with Trello in your internship and in your further career as well. Trello is very popular in the industry. So please attend that session. And that was all from my side. Thank you so much. If you wish to contact me, you can contact me on LinkedIn. You can read my writings on Medium as well as on Dev2. Just give me a second. There's a alignment problem, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So this is my Dev2 and Medium username, and you can also contact me on LinkedIn if you wish to. If you want something, if you want to know something, if you want some insights into content writing and or any other domain, if I could help, I'll definitely help you out. Okay, and just one more thing that Internity Foundation has started its crowdfunding initiative, and we have been impacting for the we have impacting 5K lives since uh, since the very inception of our initiative. So we will definitely like you to come forward and contribute willingly if you wish to. The websites are available on our website www.internity.in. Okay. Okay, so that's all. I hope with this we wind up the session on blog writing.
So, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to ask one question.
Yes, Saksham, go ahead.
This is regarding Internity. I got an email regarding this partnership with Sapio, and it's a voluntary thing. And the email said my internship would be transferred to Sapio Analytics. So I just wanted to confirm that whether we can go about doing both of these internships side by side, if that's not an issue.
Well, I'll ask Avinash sir to throw light on this issue. Avinash sir, can you please help him out?
Saksham, let me connect you with the program head, our program head, Santosh sir, and he will be able to clarify this. So you can drop a mail on us on internship@internity.in and he will clarify all your doubts regarding this.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for being patient and being throughout the section. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. It was great to have you here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.